There is a popular notion that programming is resistant to recession and barely suffers the significant downturns that other occupations experience. This is rooted in the belief that programmers will continue to be in high demand in our tech-reliant world. However, is it possible that you are not as secure as you think? Could you be more vulnerable to recession than you're aware of? If so, what measures should you use to protect yourself from its consequences? In this video, we will explore everything there is to know about a recession and its relationship with the developer economy. Here's a background on it. In 2007, the United States experienced one of the worst periods in its economic history. The financial crisis that lasted from that year till 2009 led to a loss of over 30 million jobs. Many were unable to recover their former employment statuses once it ended. And even now, economic forecasts are still considered in relation to what they were before its occurrence. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic forced several businesses to cut costs, firing employees and struggling intensely to hold on for dear life. It is 2022, and the world is shaken by the rise in energy and food prices caused by the war in Ukraine. Economic experts in the United States are worried that a recession is around the corner. These fears have been triggered by two things: the Fed's efforts to control inflation through progressive increases in interest rates, and the country's unimpressive figures in GDP. Technically, the US could be said to be in a recession now. Its gross domestic product over the first 2 quarters of 2022 has witnessed a steady decline. And since this fits the widely accepted but unofficial definition of a recession, one could say we are in the middle of one. Still, unlike the typical scenario where recessions are marked by job losses, the employment rate has risen exponentially since the height of the pandemic. Around 2.7 million people have been recycled into the labor market, and unemployment has dropped to 3.5%. So why should you be bothered? To keep people from spending too much, the Federal Reserve has taken to increasing interest rates, which on the one hand really does control inflation, but on the other prevents companies from investing as much as they want to. It is simple math. Once the cost of borrowing money is high, you would be more skeptical about taking loans, which in turn causes you to reconsider spending. If businesses are no longer confident in their ability to raise money for profitable investments, their stock prices will simultaneously fall, and they will look for ways to reduce costs. In other words, one thing results in another, and cutting employee size becomes an effective way to stay competitive. Programmers? Well, the industry cannot really do without the input of developers. There is always a need for their skills, and they cannot be easily discarded. However, companies still do not have much of a choice. Less skilled programmers are likely to be worst hit due to their value compared to mid-level or top-tier developers. Big tech is currently showing signs of unwillingness to hire so many, as companies such as Netflix, Meta, Apple, and Microsoft have either enacted freezing on hiring or laid off some staff. How to protect yourself from a recession? First, upskill. Upskilling is pretty much the standard way to ensure that your employer is not too keen on firing you. Economists have estimated that a recession will occur between mid to late 2023, so within that time, you could devote to adding more qualifications to your portfolio. The more level your talents, the higher your level of job security. Number 2, assess your workplace. Is your company experiencing more hardship than usual? Is there a potential that it will no longer be competitive? Hedge your bets and start scouting for opportunities elsewhere. It is normal to feel a sense of loyalty, but it's also practical to ensure you're not left hanging if things go south. Fortunately, senior-level developers might be able to take roles abandoned by other programmers during the Great Resignation. And at number 3, diversify. This could be in form of exploring new financial streams such as investing in a potentially profitable enterprise or simply deciding to acquire a tech skill outside your usual range. This enables you to enroll for something different while still bringing your coding skills to the table. Overall, it's important that you do not get too comfortable in your current status as a developer. Continue to acquire new skills and never stop improving yourself in any way you can. If you're new to programming and you're now uncertain of your prospects, trust us, there's no need to panic. Software development is very much in demand. While it can be affected by changes in the economy, there will continue to be plenty of room for fresh programmers. And that is for a long time too. Do you know any other ways programmers can adapt to the recession? Let us know by commenting below.